Welcome to the Property Renovation Podcast with your host, James Woodham, giving you the best tips on achieving the perfect renovation whilst making it as fun, safe and as cost-effective as possible by hearing from experts in the industry and people that have been through the experience themselves. Let me introduce your host, 3 times award winner of leading renovation website House and over 15 years in the industry, renovating just over 200 properties, James Woodham.
So, Richard, I just want to say welcome to the show. For the benefit of the listeners, if you could just introduce yourself and the company that you own as well, please.
Yeah, hi, I'm Richard Goodsir, and I'm the owner of temporaryKitchenPod.co.uk.
Cool. Richard, I wanted to get you on the podcast because I thought that this was great. I think I come across you one of your Facebook ads or something like that, and it really caught my eye because it was something that I think I could have had when I was having a building company in the years before, and it's an amazing concept that you've got. This temporary kitchens. What inspired you to go down this line?
Similar situation to yourself. I own a building company as well currently, and I was looking into building a welfare facility for larger sites that we have, for a site office and just tea making facilities, lunch facilities for our workers. Mm-hmm. So I was looking for either second hand or to do my own, and as time went on, making the designs for a unit, it became obvious that it was something that I could just pass on to my customers who would do large extensions for and kitchen renovations.
Right.
Because we were putting facilities in there to wash, to cook, and I thought, well, we needed a washing machine and a bit of storage, and we've got a bit of a kitchen, which saves an awful lot of dramas for both us as a company and for customers. So it kind of evolved out of another idea that I had, mm-hmm. and it just became Temporary Kitchen Pod.
Okay. And how many designs did you go through, and research? How much research did you do to get the right product at the end?
I was pretty much limited in terms of size because the pod's designed to fit on a standard drive, so it's just slightly bigger than an average saloon car.
Okay.
So limited to a degree with drive sizes, so it could to fit on most people's driveways. So then it was just a case of getting the layout correct, so there's enough room for a table and chairs for 4 people, and then to fit in, because we've got a cooker with a hob, washing machine, fridge, extractor, heating, and then cupboards and cabinets for storage for the basic essentials for a couple of 3-4 weeks.
Right. So
it was just just tinkering with design and just going back and forth with the kitchen design company that I use, and just thrashing out how it would work best and how it would suit a homeowner to use on a daily basis.
So how long did that end up taking in the end, like from idea to having it ready?
It took about a month, 6 weeks by the time I found a supplier who can make me a bespoke trailer which it fits in, to actually having the first temporary kitchen pod up and running and ready to go.
Right, great. So can you just explain the whole setup process? Like if someone was to order it from you, explain the whole setup, how it works.
Yeah, so basically, customer comes to us and says that they want one, whether that's a homeowner or a kitchen fitter or a building company. Mm-hmm. So we just make sure that they've got the facilities that we need to connect to on site. So we need an outside tap. We need 2 13-amp supplies in the house. That's just a standard 3-pin plug. So we need 2 of those that we can plug into. We need a waste gully. So that's generally what you either got on the drive or where a downpipe is that comes off the roof. Mm. So we just have a flexible waste hose that comes out of the sink and the washing machine that goes straight into that. And that's pretty much it. And then we just back it onto the drive, plug those in, and leave it for the customer to use for their own convenience. So it's pretty simple. It doesn't need any alterations to the house other than what generally people have already got. So it's pretty simple.
Okay. And I mean, let's talk about the problems that you think you've solved with this anyway. Like by providing this service to homeowners or other builders and kitchen companies, kitchen fitters, sorry. What problems have you heard? Like, what feedback have you heard that you've been solving?
Well, from a customer point of view, most customers don't realise up front before they actually start a project that not having a kitchen as a daily thing is so inconvenient. Everyone thinks, oh great, we'll have meals out, we'll have takeaways. But most customers, after a few days or a couple of weeks, one, get bored of it and then get tired of spending an awful lot of money on meals out and takeaways, because they're not cheap when you're providing for a growing family.
Yeah.
And nobody likes washing up either in the sink or in the shower or in the bath. And quite often the washing machine's out of action as well, so it's having to go to the laundrette or go to friends or family's houses, do washing and drying, and the back and forth of waiting for cycles to finish and just getting to and from. So it's just it saves the homeowner the inconvenience of not having everything to hand. And also when customers are having either kitchens remodelled or extensive building works going on and they've got no kitchen, or the builders managed to leave them a sink and a bit of worktop, that sink and that worktop is constantly covered in dust.
Yeah.
And or debris from the building works that are going on. Sometimes they have to be disconnected and then reconnected. And that kind of flows into then when you've got builders on site or kitchen fitters on site that they're perhaps having to wait around at the start of the day before they can actually get in the kitchen because the family's having breakfast and other things being done, or someone's left the washing machine on a cycle and they can't start their work until that's finished. And then at the end of the day, the builder then having to clear up. So they might be spending an hour of their working day clearing up, which doesn't help anybody because they're losing working time. The customer's paying for a few builders to be cleaning up so they can then go and make tea for the family at the end of the day. So it's it solves the problem for pretty much everybody. It saves for the inconvenience and it saves time and money for the install side of it as well.
I would probably go a little bit further and say about if a builder's doing any renovation, a kitchen in particular, you're literally turning the house upside down for a while because that's a major disruption for a family. So I think it's just about the stress bit that I would probably add that you relieve from, because then the builder's not worried about like having to accommodate and vice versa for the family. So I think if it's quite relaxed, they can be in a completely separate place when that build is happening. Then it's a lot calmer and it's a lot more fun as a project, I would say. Would you agree?
It is. I mean, I can look at it from both the point of owning a building company and knowing exactly what it's like from the inconvenience and the stress wise, because trying to complete a job to a certain point for the end of each day is sometimes a rush, or you can't perhaps start a job that normally you'd like to if you had the free run of the kitchen. Yeah. But so on that basis, you can literally strip the kitchen out from day one, secure up. If you got walls missing that go outside, so you can secure the rest of the house up without needing to be come down, so the customers can get in every evening and every morning. So it relieves a lot of stress on both sides.
I was just going to say about what's your typical customer. I think we've probably mentioned it already, but what's your plans? Are you thinking about serving maybe the commercial sector, for instance, like with something like this? Because at the moment it's just the builders, the kitchen fitters, and the homeowners. Yeah,
I'm just going to keep with that. It's working well. I'm getting some great feedback on Facebook and from customers alike, and everybody who's coming across it. Most people on Facebook that we're getting feedback from is, I could have done with one of these.
Right.
But unfortunately, it's, retrospect's a wonderful thing. Like I said early on, you don't realise until you've been through the pain that if there's something there to alleviate it, then for a small amount of cost on top of what sometimes is a big expense, is well worth it.
Yeah.
It might be costing a small appliance in the kitchen, but it saves weeks of heartache and stress, and it generally pays for itself, I believe, because the contractors that are on site are saving the time by not having to clear up, and they can just crack on with the job from day one without any hassles. So it kind of pays for itself.
Yeah. I'm going to put you on the spot and ask, tell us about a customer experience, someone that you've offered this to and it's worked. Tell me just how that's worked out for them.
One customer that I'm just underlining what I've said to some degree. Mary had a kitchen extension being done, and it was dragging on. I think she was changing plans slightly. I don't think she necessarily realised up front what extra decisions we're going to make in terms of tiling and new windows and flooring. And so it dragged on, and she'd been without a kitchen for about 4 weeks. Okay. Then she heard of us and called us out, and she had the pod for a further 2 weeks while the rest of the job was being finished. And it was a bit of a eureka moment for her. It was, like we just said, it was stress-free and almost enjoyable. Then she could enjoy the rest of the build without having to constantly be working around kitchen fitters and the tilers that were finishing the job off for her.
Oh, that's nice. That's good. Okay. And what's business been like? You've got here that you started the business in August. Is that right?
Yeah. We started in August. We came up with the idea June, and then we got the first one going in August, and we've had some good orders and a couple of repeat customers. They're so happy with it. A couple of kitchen fitters that are probably going to run with it now and try and put it in front of all their customers, simply because it just saves them the time. They can do one job and straight on to the next. Right. Because they can just walk in from day one, put the old kitchen in the skip and crack on and get it done. And we've got 2 more on order. So, as we see it moving forward, we're adding to the fleet. Right. And now we're getting repeat orders. It's really picking up. So, all good.
Brilliant. Do you have any plans to extend from this? Do you think everyone starts to get excited if it's been kicking off? But going aside from kitchens, but maybe a temporary bathroom, temporary shower, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we've got ideas for a shower room. Because the other feedback we've had mainly from builders is that the other thing that they could do with is when they're doing larger house renovations or bathroom projects, and even plumbers that I've spoken to, that that's the one other thing that some people can't or struggle with when they're having renovations done. It's okay if you've got a nice ensuite to use, but if they haven't, then they're stuck generally without a shower or a bath, or even toilet facilities in some cases. So it's a case of going to the gym every night or going to friends and family to shower and wash. And again, if the inconvenience when you've got a family, it's not great to be dashing back and forth just for the basic essentials. So,
No.
So we're looking into that. And being a smaller unit, it will probably fit in more places as well. So, that's probably going to start in the new year.
Good. Okay, all right. I think we're almost there. I was just going to say, with what we're doing with this podcast, what's your opinion about it? What do you think about the property renovation podcast?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing that you're doing. You're giving the people that are looking to have projects done the kind of confidence to get on and do it in an organised and reasonably stressful or stress-free way, rather. And with the toolkit that you've got as well, that that you started recently, giving everybody the full package to start and plan properly and make sure that they know what they want, and therefore the contractors, when they find the right ones, know what they're doing. So the whole process just should flow smoothly, which not everybody knows how to start that process or where to go in between. So I think what you're doing is a great idea, and by the response that you're getting, I think it's working well.
Thank you very much, Richard. Listen, I before I let you go, please mention your website and how people get in touch with you about the pod, the kitchen.
Yes, yeah, it's temporaryKitchenPod.co.uk. So that's the website, and you can find us on Facebook, Temporary Kitchen Pod. So yeah, get in touch with us and ask any questions that you've got, and we'll aim to help and alleviate all these stresses.
Good. Thank you very much. It was really nice to have you on, Richard.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
All right. Take care. Just before you go, we wanted to let you know that the Akiva Toolkit has now launched. What's that, you might say? Well, it's 10 documents that you can go and download for a very small fee, and then it will enable you to bring your project in on time and on budget. We've put these together to make sure it's as simple as it can be. And in return, you will feel supercharged, super confident in managing your project, your self-build, your renovation, anything yourself. They've all been put together by people that have been in the industry for many, many years. And as soon as you download it, you're then in the basket for any updates, any new documents that are issued throughout the time. We will be reviewing it over time and time to get it better and better and better. We would only be able to do that by hearing from yourself. So please leave us any feedback. If you think it's for you, or you think this could benefit someone else that you might know, then please share it. You can go to akivatoolkit.com to find out more information. Thank you very much.